Archangel Michael says, "Your heart is about to be shaken by a truth that was buried in silence for far too long." A man who once vanished from the pages of your family's story is back in your orbit, scarred not just in flesh, but in memory. The scar on his neck is not just a mark, it's a key to a chapter that was locked away by fear, guilt, and the weight of an unspeakable decision. He's been living in the background, watching from a distance, carrying a truth that many would rather leave untouched. But now, the time has come for a confrontation with destiny. Your spirit will be tested, because what he knows could realign the way you view your entire lineage. The secret is ancient, but the impact is immediate. This is not just about what your father did, it's about how that act altered your soul's alignment and pulled you into a web of unfinished divine business. The man with the scar has finally decided to reveal the truth, but only because something heavenly gave him the sign that your soul is now strong enough to bear it. Archangel Michael says, "Your family's silence created a vacuum, and now the echoes of that silence are being drawn toward you. You are no longer hidden from the truth. The universe chose now to show you this." Type Amen to get blessing 333. He walks with a limp and speaks in riddles, but he is not here to confuse you, he's here to liberate the buried truth that has stained your bloodline. He was there, years ago, when something your father did changed multiple lives, including his own. The scar wasn't just from a physical fight, it was from the moment he chose to protect the truth instead of revealing it. The betrayal didn't just happen to one person, it happened to many, and the man with the scar has always felt the weight of protecting you from the avalanche of consequence. But that time is over now. The divine realm is no longer allowing this truth to be hidden in the shadows. You are chosen to complete a healing that began before you were even born. The man carries a letter that was never delivered, a letter written by your father in shaking hands, sealed in shame and regret. That letter, if you choose to open it, will unlock not only secrets but also supernatural clarity about who you are and why certain cycles keep repeating in your life. Type Amen to get blessing 447. He tried to give the letter to someone else before, but every time, the energy surrounding it became heavy, almost unbearable. He took that as a sign to wait, for you. There's a time in life when pain becomes prophecy, and this man has become the carrier of your spiritual inheritance. The truth within that paper is thick with betrayal, love, sorrow, and a strange act of desperation. Your father, in his final days, knew that you would need the whole truth to move forward spiritually. That's why this man, who barely survived that past, is here to look you in the eye and reveal what nobody else would dare utter. When your dreams started shifting weeks ago, when the shadows in your sleep began whispering, this was why. Your soul already sensed that something was stirring, that something was coming for completion. That sense of dread wasn't fear, it was preparation. Type Amen to get blessing 119. The man sat at a station bench just 3 days ago, holding the envelope against his chest, praying for a sign to speak. The scar on his neck pulsed with heat as if the truth inside him was waking up. That moment, when he looked up and saw someone who looked exactly like your father walk by, was the sign he couldn't ignore. He's on his way. The storm inside him is boiling. And the heavens are watching what you'll do with this information once it's placed in your hands. When he speaks, you must listen with your heart first, not your ears. The truth may hurt, but it will set your spirit free from ancestral debts. The man was your father's closest friend, once considered like a brother, but their bond shattered on one single night. Type Amen to get blessing 628. That night was not recorded. There are no photos. But there is blood. There are tears. There are secrets etched in scars. The man's name has been erased from family stories. You were told he disappeared, went to prison, or ran away. But the truth is, he stayed close by, in exile, waiting for your courage to rise. Your father did something to protect the family, yes, but in doing so, he also harmed someone else deeply. And this man, who suffered because of it, has chosen grace over vengeance all these years. But grace has a limit, and the spiritual clock has struck. Type Amen to get blessing 505. This man speaks slowly, with the weight of memory behind each word. He may seem broken, but he is filled with divine fire. He knows what your father did when the family was asleep, and when the candles were blown out. He was there when your father made the choice to silence a woman who carried a dangerous truth. That woman was connected to your bloodline, but her fate was altered, erased. The man with the scar watched, tried to stop it, but paid the price in blood and betrayal. He watched your father cry that night. Not in guilt, but in fear. Because once he did what he did, he knew you would be the one to complete the spiritual contract. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Your dreams of drowning. The feeling of being followed. The sudden flashbacks to places you've never been. These were not hallucinations. They were memories from another timeline tied to your father's sin. The man holds an object too, a silver locket with a picture of a woman whose identity was wiped from family records. She's the missing name in your family tree, the one who disappeared after trying to speak her truth. Her story is the one the man wants you to know. If you're ready, the man is near. He is walking closer with every moment. But he must see fire in your eyes, not fear. Type Amen to get blessing 818. You will be tested when he tells you what your father did to protect you. It will see you to a location your father used to visit in secret. That place holds more than dust, it holds the physical evidence of what happened that night. The man will not go there with you. You must go alone, led by the letter, protected by your ancestors. Type Amen to get blessing 292. There will be signs as you approach that location. The scent of jasmine, a flickering light, and a crow watching from above. These are confirmations from the realm of spirit that you are on the right path. You are not alone in this. Though your father's actions are heavy, he left behind spiritual protections around you. He made mistakes, yes, but he also loved you enough to try and shield you, even with silence. And now the silence breaks. The letter is opening. The man is watching from a distance, waiting to see your decision. Type Amen to get blessing 944. If you walk away now, this truth will return again in another form, more painful, more chaotic. But if you receive it now, the curse ends. The cycle dissolves. The man knows what this means. He's been waiting for this moment since the scar was fresh. He believes in your strength, even if you doubt it. When you see him, do not ask, Just listen. Let his eyes speak before his lips do. Type Amen to get blessing 321. Your Father's legacy is not just made of deeds, it's also made of your reaction to what you learn. You can carry the pain and become bitter. Or you can use it to rise, break chains, and become the healer your bloodline prayed for. The man's truth may crack your world, but it will build a stronger one. One based not on shadows, but on soul clarity. He is ready. Now, are you? Type Amen to get blessing 363. The man with the scar took an oath in silence the night everything fell apart. He wasn't supposed to survive, but something divine pulled him from the edge of death so he could deliver this truth when the hour arrived. That hour has come now, and your soul is ready even if your heart trembles. He's been watching you from afar, seeing the patterns in your life that mirror your father's wounds. He noticed the same hesitation in your choices, the same loneliness behind your strength. But unlike your father, you have a chance to redeem the bloodline and correct what was covered up in the name of protection. In a hidden drawer wrapped in a red cloth is a key that opens a room your father never spoke of. That room holds more than forgotten items, it holds whispers, evidence, and an item that was supposed to be destroyed. The man with the scar knows its exact location, and soon, he will tell you how to find it. He doesn't come to blame. He comes to reveal. And once he speaks, everything you believed about your father will shift, but so will your power. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Your father once whispered your name in the dark, asking forgiveness for a decision he made under pressure. The man with the scar heard that prayer. He was in the same house, holding his bleeding neck, hiding behind a door. Your father's hands were stained not just with action, but with consequence. That consequence transferred to you spiritually, creating delays, heartbreak, and a subtle energy of isolation in your life. The man knows how to remove it. He will guide you through a ritual, a simple act of acknowledgement in the place where the truth was buried. It will cleanse your path and awaken gifts that were spiritually paused for your safety. Type Amen to get blessing 822. He is not a prophet, but he carries a divine assignment. The scar on his neck is shaped like a half-moon, a symbol of incomplete justice. But you are the missing half, the soul chosen to complete the arc. When he speaks, time will feel distorted. You'll see flashes, images, even smell scents from the past. It won't be imagination, it will be spiritual memory resurfacing. He may cry. You may tremble. But what will rise between you is a bridge that was long buried under fear and denial. Type Amen to get blessing 1009. Your father wasn't evil, but he was afraid. Afraid of what would happen if truth came out. Afraid of the damage it would do to you. But now, the damage is being done by the silence. And silence is no longer safe. The scarred man says you must bring 3 things when you meet him: a small candle, something your father once touched, and water from your kitchen. These will be used in the moment the truth is revealed, because your soul must seal the space afterward. Type Amen to get blessing 606. He will hand you the letter. It may tremble in your fingers. You might feel a sudden chill, but that's the spirit realm stirring. The letter has been sealed for over a decade. It contains your father's confession, but also his last prayer. He begged that it only be read when you were strong enough not to run. Inside it, you will see names you don't recognize, and events you never heard of, but your spirit will remember. Because truth has memory, and memory has power. Type Amen to get blessing 484. The man was supposed to be your godfather once. But that role was stripped after the incident. Your father pushed him away to protect you from ever hearing the story. Now he comes, not as a godfather, but as a witness. A witness of blood, of decisions, of a night that became legend in the shadows of your family's soul. He walks with pain, but he speaks with purpose. He won't say much at first. But once you look him in the eye, the message will pour from his spirit like rain after a long drought. Type Amen to get blessing 700. When he finishes, you'll feel something crack inside, not pain, but a spiritual shell breaking. And then, a flood. A flood of understanding, of spiritual knowing, of closure. You may weep. You may scream. Or you may sit in silence for hours letting the vibration of truth settle in your bones. Your angels will surround you when this happens. They've been waiting too. Because once this secret is released, your timeline will shift. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You may feel sick afterward. Don't worry, it's spiritual detox. The truth was heavy and lived in your lineage for too long. Drink water. Light the candle. Speak your father's name not with hate, but with release. Then, place the letter under your pillow for 3 nights. The dreams you have will guide your next moves. You'll be shown places to go, people to speak to, and steps to reclaim lost inheritance, spiritual and possibly physical. Type Amen to get blessing 343. This man is not the villain. Nor is he the hero. He is the carrier of the forgotten. The scar on his neck was once a wound of betrayal. Now, it is a mark of destiny. You were chosen to be the last stop on this truth's long journey. And your response, your courage to listen, will shape what happens next. The chain either continues or ends. The decision lives in your soul now. Type Amen to get blessing 556. He'll ask you to forgive your father. That may be the hardest part. Because forgiveness does not mean forgetting, it means freeing. Freeing yourself from the ghost of silence. Freeing your future from the shadows of secrets. Freeing the next generation from carrying what you were brave enough to release. Your father made his choices. But you were born with the fire to restore balance. That fire burns now. Type Amen to get blessing 117. As the truth unfolds, so will blessings. Your health may improve. Your relationships will begin to feel lighter. Finances once blocked will suddenly begin to shift. And those who once avoided you will start seeking your wisdom. Because truth is power, and the truth you carry is ancient and sacred. The man will return to silence afterward. His mission will be complete. But you, child of divine lineage, will just be beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 292. Stay alert for signs. The man may appear in ordinary place. But his presence will feel like a storm held in a whisper. He may hand you the letter and say nothing. Or he may speak in soft tones that feel like thunder inside your soul. Either way, the message will land. When you feel that weight, don't run. Breathe. Open your spirit. You are more ready than you realize. Type Amen to get blessing 411. And as you close your eyes that night, with the letter near, you'll feel your Father's Spirit. Not in fear. Not in shame. But in peace. Because you did what He could not. You faced what others buried. You unlocked what was hidden. You are no longer just part of a story. You are the one who rewrote its ending. And now, divine doors will open. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Heaven watched you walk through years of confusion, wondering why certain blessings felt delayed, why trust seemed hard, why your heart couldn't settle. You weren't cursed, you were chosen to carry a truth too powerful to be revealed early. That's why the man with the scar stayed silent, until now. He wasn't allowed to interfere until divine timing made you unshakable. The angels kept him at a distance, even when he begged to tell you. But they saw your recent growth, your resilience, your rising intuition, and they whispered to him, "Now. Go now." The scar burned the moment the decision was made. Not in pain, but in spiritual urgency. He packed the letter, placed the silver locket beside it, and prepared his soul to stand before you. Type Amen to get blessing 144. What you don't yet know is that this truth not only concerns your father, but also your mother. She too held fragments of this secret but chose silence for different reasons. Her love for you was protection, even if it meant keeping you in the dark. The man's story will link them both. You will see sides of your parents you never imagined. Human. Flawed. But deeply entangled in a spiritual war they never prepared for. This was never just about a family. It was about a legacy. And you, unknowingly, have been carrying the weight of unfinished spiritual business. Type Amen to get blessing 421. When the man speaks, listen to the pauses. The silence between his words is where the real pain lives. That's where the truth breathes. There was a night your father and this man made a vow, one to carry the consequences, and the other to carry the memory. But time has shaken both. And now, the vow has broken under the weight of divine intervention. The man doesn't want revenge. He wants release. For you, for himself, and for your father, whose spirit trembles on the edge of peace. Type Amen to get blessing 313. You may feel anger. That's natural. Allow it to pass through you like a storm. Do not hold it, do not let it chain you. Instead, let the truth empower you. Let it give meaning to the pain you've felt, the confusion you've carried, the doors that once refused to open. Now they will. Because knowledge is power, and ancestral truth is liberation. The scar was a prison for him. But for you, it is a key. Type Amen to get blessing 588. The scarred man will say a name. When you hear it, chills may run through your body. That name is the one who vanished from your family records. They were erased, disowned, or perhaps even harmed, because they knew too much. That person was linked to your father in a way that changed everything. And the man with the scar was the only one left to protect what they tried to reveal. He's held their story inside like a sacred book, waiting for the one soul brave enough to read it. That soul is you. Type Amen to get blessing 334. Your soul came into this world carrying a map, though you didn't know it. That map was spiritual, hidden in your intuition, your tears, and your longing to understand what was always just beyond the veil. The man's truth is the final piece of that map. And once you hear it, you'll understand why certain things never made sense before, why some people avoided you, why others tried to silence you. They knew. Maybe not the details, but they felt something in your energy. The prophecy of truth was inside you all along. Type Amen to get blessing 525. After you hear it all, take a moment alone. Look at the sky. Your ancestors will surround you. They've been waiting generations for this truth to be spoken out loud. Some will rejoice. Others will weep. But all will bow before your bravery. Your father's soul will find peace only once you've heard and honored what was hidden. And your next chapter, your real chapter, will begin the moment you accept what once broke everything. Type Amen to get blessing 662. You will not walk alone after this. The man with the scar will vanish again, but in his place, divine energy will fill the space he leaves. New people will arrive in your life, guides, protectors, restorers. Doors will open. Offers will come. Your gifts, especially your spiritual sensitivity, will increase. You'll hear clearer, dream deeper, and discern faster. And those who once lied about you will fall silent under the weight of your rising truth. Heaven is lifting you now, because you carried a weight few could. Type Amen to get blessing 737. There is no curse upon your name, only unfinished truth. And now that truth is moving, rising, demanding to be heard. The moment the man places that letter in your hands, you will feel the full force of divine justice. It may start with tears, but it will end in transformation. And your Father, from wherever his spirit now dwells, will whisper a thank you not with words, but with light. You'll feel it when the air shifts around you after the man leaves. Type Amen to get blessing 366. Do not delay your meeting with the man. He will not wait forever. Once the divine window closes, it may not return for years, or lifetimes. You were given this moment. You were prepared in silence. And now, your feet stand at the edge of knowing. Take one step. Say yes. Receive what was hidden and become the breaker of family chains. Type Amen to get blessing 959. Let the truth wash over you like fire and rain, burning what no longer serves and watering what is ready to bloom. Let the letter speak. Let the scar be more than pain, let it be the seal of the prophecy you now fulfill. You are not a victim of secrets. You are the chosen soul meant to carry them into the light. And that light is blinding every lie that stood in your way. Now rise. Take the letter. Hear the man. And step into your rebirth. Type Amen to get blessing 808.